So, you've got a lot of exciting things going on these days.
I do?
Well, you've got
Tell me about
Unsupervised, you've got House of Lies, and now this, Big Miracle.
Right. That's right.
What was it about this project that attracted you to it? Besides the whales.
Besides the fact that I do love whales and all animals, you know, it's such an unbelievable story. At first read, you couldn't possibly, it just couldn't possibly be true. Oh, people really fell in love because they met talking about the whales. But then you look at all this old footage and it's true, and it's kind of a magical story that needed to be told.
A lot of these characters are based on, you know, they have real life equivalents. I gather yours is not?
No, it's sort of Jill Gerard's sort of a mishmash of a bunch of different journalists who were very hungry to make this story the reason that they should move up in their careers.
A big part of the film is your relationship with John's character.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about working with John. Is he the prankster and troublemaker that he
Absolutely.
appears? Yeah.
He's extremely mischievous. John is exceptional to work with because he's so game for anything. He's very, very present, and he's a very hard worker. And once he's off the clock, he's one of the funniest people I've ever met. So it's a joy to be on or off screen with him.
Tell me what you mean by present. I hear that term bandied about, but I never actually...
Present? Well, I feel like when you're acting in a scene with someone, you can either actually connect with them because they're sort of open and vulnerable.
Like we're connecting now.
Yeah, exactly. See how we just had that? That was major.
That's
right?
presence.
That's how John Krasinski does it.
God.
You know what I mean? You just sort of melt into his eyes.
It's remarkable.
Yeah.
Talk about going up there, filming those scenes in the frigid cold of Alaska.
It was very cold in Alaska, as it's known to be. We had a lot of layers. We were very equipped because, thank God, our production designer and our wardrobe designer had researched the area so thoroughly and spoken with so many of the native people that we had all the gear going up. So on camera, we wore what you would have needed to wear, which there's specific rubber boots. They're called bunny boots, and we had the right coats. But then off camera, when it was really freezing, they loaned that to us when we were walking the streets of Alaska. So we were very lucky that we had such a capable team. But Anchorage is not nearly as cold as Barrow, which is where it actually took place, which is the top of the world. So it was about 5 degrees, maybe 0 degrees, and we were pretending like it was 30 or 40 or 50 below.
What's the ratio of men to women in Alaska? It's like 5 to 1, right?
Of men to women. Yeah, I did feel like there were a lot of dudes now that you mention it.
But you felt safe. You never felt...
Yeah, I felt safe. I mean, I wasn't like going out and hanging out with a bunch of randos on the weekends or anything. Like I did meet some really lovely people, but I didn't socialize too much with a bunch of people that I didn't know. Although we as groups would go out and like eat and meet the locals and have dinner and stuff. But I never felt cornered by a huge group of dudes, if that's what you're asking. I was never that lucky.
Thank goodness. I've read that you're quite the poker player. Is that true?
I'm a decent... Who said that? I'm a decent poker
Drew
player.
Barrymore.
She did? I'm a decent... You know what? I'm not that good at any game, but I have an extraordinary amount of luck. So when we would play poker to pass the time in the evenings, and I did have a fair amount of luck.